Hello YouTube and welcome to yet another video. So right now I'm going to play some games versus John Bartholomew, an international master who's also my former coach on playing some better chess. So we haven't started the games yet, as you can see, but we are about to in just a second. And when that happens, I have 15 minutes and 10 seconds increment for each game, and we're going to play 2 games. And let's see how I can do it. This is really going to be fun. Lots of fun. And I'm actually a bit nervous, and I don't know why, because I know he's much better than me, and I shouldn't really make anything out of it except maybe gain some knowledge from this experience. But yeah, this is going to be fun. So now we're going to start the game. I just got a message from John here that he's ready. So let's go. Let's go, John. And this is the first video of 2 videos actually, where we're gonna try our best. Well, he's gonna try his best to win, and I'm gonna try my best not to die immediately. That's pretty much it, guys. So I'm really looking forward to this. So yeah, any second now. I've challenged him and he said he's ready, so we'll see. There we go. Alright, so I am white. I'm gonna play e4. And John really prepped me in playing d4 when we worked together. And probably he's going to go for the c5 in Sicilian, yes. I believe that he knows that I don't like the Sicilian. And that's kind of the reason why I shouldn't play e4 against a much stronger opponent. Because this is really going to hurt a lot. But let's play c3 here, since he plays d6. Let's go and get him out of opening book right away. And now let's play queen to c2. And let's see what happens. So this is going to be fun, guys. Right now he's maybe even studying better right up here. Yeah. So many people would like to play bishop to d3 or just d3, but I like this move queen to c2. But maybe there is some refutation for that move. I'm not exactly sure. So knight to c6, yeah. So do I play bishop to b5 or do I play something else? I kind of like bishop to b5, although my light squared bishop might want to stay on e2 or d3. And I have the feeling that I want it on e2. I could go to b5 as well. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure actually. So queen c2 is a dubious move, because if I want to play d3 anyways later to open up for this bishop, then why didn't I do that right away? That's why I shouldn't place my bishop on e2. So let's go here. And he plays bishop to d7, yeah. Now I could play d4, and after pawn captures, knight captures, bishop captures d7, queen captures d7, c captures d4, and then rook to c8. and maybe then queen to e2, we would have kind of a nice position. But as of now, I'm just going to castle. I would really have a big space advantage in that case, but his rook is getting really active, and my bishop here and my knight wouldn't be able to get out in the process of doing that. So now probably he would go for g6 or e6. He wants to castle himself. He also has the availability to play queen to b6, just threatening my bishop on b5. But he should really develop his dark squared bishop there. And I'm guessing he's going to go for e6 and not g6, but I'm not sure. I'm not an international master, am I? Not at all. But I have my Coke and I'm ready to roll. So he plays e6, a6 actually. Okay, that's also a good move. Trying to get on my bishop here. And if I place my bishop on a4, he can play b5, and when I go back here, he can play c4, trapping that bishop. So that's not good. And if I take, he'll have a really strong bishop on c6. But what if I take, he takes, I play d4, he takes, and I take here. Then he could simply take on e4. So yeah, this pawn is vulnerable if I take that knight. So maybe I should bring my bishop back to e2 now. Yeah, let's do that. And then let's play d3 after that and bring our bishop out, knight out, maybe even rook out to e1. So already he's trying to be nasty with rook to c8. I like it, John. I really like it. But I'm not going to push for d4 here, because if I take, then he can take back with his knight. And that's exactly what he wants from this position. He wants to open up for this rook. So that's why I don't do that. I'm playing d3 instead, just keeping things close and not getting his rook onto an attacking position. But having a rook lined up with a queen like that is really just great. So I might be able, I might have to move my queen better sooner than later, eh? So now he plays g6, okay. So now I should bring my bishop or knight out. I can bring my bishop here or to g5. I think f4 is more of a safer square for it, because if he plays e5, then he kind of blocks in his own bishop on g7. So let's do that. And I really don't like that I'm down on time, although it should be obvious that I'm not a good player, at least in the scale of an international master. But still, I shouldn't get too low on time, at least not if he gets like 10 minutes and I have 2 minutes left. That would be terrible for me, at least when the position sharpens up. So I should probably just play my knight to d2 or bring my rook to e1. And I'm thinking rook to e1 first, because I am threatening to play e5. After he takes, I take, he takes, and I take with my bishop. I might have some attacking chances onto this bishop or onto his king side. And also, I kind of like the idea of playing knight to a3 to c2. If I place it on d2 here, it has a lot of options. It can replace this knight on f3, but it can also go to c4 or f1 to g3, many things like that. So I'm going to do this first, and let's see what he comes up with. So I'm guessing he's just going to castle here. Yeah. And one thing that I really want is to actually get this queen onto d2 or c1 so that my bishop actually can go in and attack that bishop on g7, or at least trade it off. And by playing knight to d2, it kind of stops me from getting this queen onto this diagonal. But if I play my knight here, I can also bring my knight back to f1. And on e3, it might have some potential after playing something like d4. Yeah, bring it maybe to g5 later, or c4. But I'm going to go ahead and do this. He might want to go here, maybe. But I'm thinking that he's not going to do that. Well, after I thought about it in one more second there, then I realized this is actually not a good move. I'm just going to place my bishop back here. I'm not going to put it on g3 though, because then he can still capture it. And I will have a double pawn and he wins the bishop here. And I don't like that at all. But this is fun. Really fun. I haven't screwed up completely in the opening at least, although it is a rather weird Alepin variation of the Sicilian defense. So maybe he's thinking about b5 here, just expanding on the queen side. And then I might have to worry a bit. Maybe I would even have to play a3 just to stop him from playing b4. Although b4 is still possible after I take, he takes, I take, and he takes with his knight on b4. So b5 seems like a good move for black here. At least that's what it looks like. And if he plays something like e5, like he does here, he will get this bishop for a knight, but it might weaken this d6 pawn if I'm able to exploit that by playing my rook here and trading off these pawns and grinding up onto that pawn right there, because it is backward. So am I going to play my bishop here, or I'm going to place it here, giving it away for this knight? That's the question. And if I go here, he might even play just h6. And if I go back, he might play g5 just to get into more attack. And also just expanding on the king side, and then maybe even play f5 later. And yeah, by playing this and h6, if I take, he might even get his queen in here. Although it might not be that dangerous. I might have to be a bit careful. So I'm going to place my bishop here and see if he plays h6. He probably will. Because right now I both have a piece and a pawn. Yeah, he plays h6. That's what I expected him to. Huh. So should I take and let his queen come into the action, or should I do something else? Because I strongly believe that he will take with his queen here. Yeah, let's do that. If I bring it back, this will just be a terrible piece after g5 anyways. He takes with his bishop. To me, that seems a bit strange, but maybe he wants to keep his queen available for getting onto the queen side. All right. So I'm thinking about playing a4 here, actually. a4 seems like a good move. Just because when he plays b5, I can take, and after he takes back, at least I get this open a file for my rook. I don't see how we can take that pawn right away. I could consider knight to c4, but let's say he just plays bishop to e6, and this knight really isn't doing much there. I'm going to go with a4. It seems like a obvious move, for me at least. And this queen has to move like pretty soon. If things start to get open on the c file here, this queen might be in terrible danger actually. But what I like about John is that he's such a strong player, and he's really just grinding people down. He's taking his time. He's not going for something adventurous and stuff like that. Well, he does that too, but he has this principle, I believe, that he always wants to play the most safe and best and most aggressive move at the same time. And I kind of like that about him. But yeah, he plays bishop to e6 anyways. He stops me from playing my queen to b3. That b3 square is an important square. But I do believe that I can play my knight to f1 and to e3 and maybe even to d5. That actually might be good. But he wants to play d5 himself, doesn't he? Remove this piece. But if I play c4 here, I'm letting his knight in onto b4. That's a weakness of a4. By playing a4, because I don't have a3 to kick it away. But yeah, I can't play c4 here. So what about d4? C captures d4. C captures d4. Knight captures d4. And yeah, my queen is still in the way. What I could do though is place my knight onto f1. Now if we place d5, which is his intention, I could take, and after he takes, I play my knight to e3. Yeah, let's do that. I don't have much of a choice. He's gonna get this break anyway. Cheers. But in my next move, if he plays e4, e5, d5, sorry, But maybe I should even go for queen to d2. Because queen d2 helps in the process of eliminating this attack on the queen on c2. Because I really can't play d4. As soon as I do that, I open up for his rook. That's why this queen right now is a terrible piece. But yeah, John is so secure when he plays chess, and he's such a strong player. I really, really admire him for that. He doesn't take too much of a risk, but he's really just playing great chess overall. And that's really nice, and that is truly something more people should try to do. Me, I would love to play more like that, and I think that some of it might have gotten on over me or to me by John, because I feel like I play more safe and more risk-free than I previously did before I met John, but still, it's it's those little tiny mistakes that one that makes the whole difference in the world, isn't it? Yeah, he goes for d5. And if I go here, he might even go with d4. So I think I'm kind of forced to take. So if knight e3, d4, takes. Then this knight on e3 would have to move again. And where should I move it? So yeah, let's just take that. And if he takes with his queen, I think that's... Oh, he takes with his bishop. All right. I thought he might take with his queen, actually, because after I do this, he has to bring it back. But all right. I'm going to bring my knight into the game. And he really doesn't want to trade those bishops for a knight. That's a good thing about this, at least. So if I play my rook over to d1, he might play his knight to a5 or queen to b6, and then threatening bishop to b3, which actually would do a lot of damage into my position. So what I do, I need to play actively, and I also need to consider his possibilities. But I think queen to d2 looks fine. Queen to d2 looks absolutely fine. So I'm going to do that. Get out of the way for that rook. It looks really nasty where it is right there. I notice that he can't play e4 because I can just take it. After queen captures, I can just capture back with my knight. Although it is something to worry about if something were to happen. But yeah. Maybe I should even aim for something like rook a3, bringing my rook to the third rank and try to get these pawns off up onto the d4 maybe, so that this rook can come to g3. That is a long-term goal though. A long-term goal. Because if I place my rook here on d1, this bishop is just going to come back down to b3, and this rook would have to go all the way back to a1 to just keep this pawn on a4. So he plays his bishop back to g7. He sees that I can actually threaten to capture that. Of course he does. He's an international master. But what should we play here? I kind of like the idea of actually playing my knight to c4. Although he can take, and I will have a double pawn here. I could play b4 after rook to b1, for instance. And if he trades queens, how would that be? Yeah, and probably if I place my knight to c4, he can play b5, takes. I would get rid of some sort of this weakness on a4, although it isn't a weakness right now. But this knight probably would just have to go back to e3. And also if I do this, he could place his knight on g4, although he wouldn't capture here, so that would be a dubious move actually. But he might even want to play f5, and that is worrying. That should be worrying a lot. So maybe I should place something. Nah, I can't do that. And I'm down on time, like 5 minutes. Over 5 minutes, guys. Okay. That's really nice. Really nice indeed. So f5 might be a really strong move. That is just killing, isn't it? Yeah. That might be lights out actually. I could aim for b4. Capture. But then this pawn would be very weak. Then I could go for b5 though and try to win this pawn. But I think I'm gonna have to. No, it also opens up for this discovered attack on my rook. Alright. This is so hard. But you know what? If I play my knight to d1 or to c2, actually, we could bring this other knight to c2. Okay, let's play h3 actually. Because I want this knight and I want my bishop out into the open. So getting rid of this knight and getting my bishop out is my goal right now. And I have 1 minute left. Oh my god, that is terrible. Oh my goodness, I'm so gonna lose this. So freaking bad. But that's kind of what I expected to when I asked for this to happen. But yeah, the Sicilian can just go beep itself. F5, there it is. So can I play my knight here now? Let's go back to f1. So if he goes here, I take. Then at least I have covered this queen covered twice. It's kind of a weird looking move though, knight to back to f1 from once it came, but I really don't have much of a choice. I need to get my pieces out. And that is one way of dealing with that. If I had placed my knight here, I think you could just play b5, takes, and this knight must move. Let's say it goes back or to a3. If it goes back, then simply f4 is just crushing. And if it goes here, well, what does it do there? It can come to c2, but nah, takes too much. Okay, so he's lining up indeed. So now I think I can play this with that. So here, and he plays g5, then I can play my knight on g6. What about after rook to f6 though? Yeah, it doesn't really do much, does it? Let's go here. So now he's going to place his other rook onto the d file, and then I will have to bring my queen back onto c2. And then finally I could bring my other rook, my a rook, onto d1. But maybe he's, yeah, alright, he's going for that instead. Let's go here. I need to earn some more time here. This is really just depressing. So I'm going to pre-move capturing that, although he probably isn't going to play that. That just loses a pawn. I'm really, really stressed out right now. Okay, so if he takes, I take, he takes back. Then I take here. Yeah, all right. Oh, so he can actually do that. Oh no. What am I thinking about? He could do that. All right. This is just terrible. Okay. Yeah, let's just resign that. I got way too down on time there. Okay, so let's see what happened in that game. e4, c5, knight f3, g6, c3, knight f6, queen to c2. So I like queen c2, but maybe I should have gone with d3 first and not placed my queen onto c2 because I got too much wobbly with that queen later on. Yeah. So he just slowly built up pressure as a really great player should. Just strangling me. And probably queen to d2 wasn't such a good move either. Maybe queen c1, or maybe even b3 was a good alternative here. But I didn't like this rook going to c2. All right. So h3, f5. And that's where things started to get nasty. Like I didn't realize that after I placed my bishop here. I really thought that after he goes there, I can take and he doesn't attack my queen, but he really does. And that's really frustrating. When you're in time travel, you see ghosts, basically. This is not something that would happen to me every day. Like, no one would have played that move if they had the time to do so properly. Like, I could have played any other move, actually, not onto f3 though, but any other move would have sufficed. That's really nice. Okay, this is working out quite nice. Yeah, and even though I could take here, he would just take back. I don't have anything in this position at all. So this is the first game of our two games that we're going to play. So keep a lookout for that second game as well. And it's really nice to play against John Bartholomew. Give him a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this. Bye. See you in the next video.